Peace to all the Quran alone Muslims. Obviously, there's just one person I know at the moment, but still, that's just the way it is. That's the way it rolls on this channel, especially. So, yeah, the topic tonight is do you follow those who ask for money in order to bring you the truth? Now, you've got Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now, you've got people like Merciful Servant, you've got people like The Prophet's Path, you've got people like Sam Gerrings, you've got people like Sir Spaz, you've got people like Respect that claim they're Muslims when they're not. You've got many people out there that are selling books, that are selling translations, that are asking for donations, begging for your money. They've obviously not got hard day. They don't know what a hard day's work is. God gave them arms and legs to earn their money in a halal way, but no, if they may say, oh, I've got a job. Well, then they're robbing you. So they're either ponces or they're daylight robbers. I wouldn't give a penny to these people. I'd put your money and give it to, straight to the horse's mouth, if you like, in regards to charity. I wouldn't give none of these people no money. As I said, I don't ask for your money. I don't need your money. As my reward is with God. And that was the message from all the other prophets and messengers. So we'll get on with it. I may cover another subject. At the moment, it will be on this. Now, your Lord and Creator is saying to you. Now, let me put up something just to remind people that, hadith is nothing to do, man-made hadith is nothing to do with Islam, the Deen. As I said, I'm at the moment in the process of trying to scour them little bits and pieces out. Like you might hear me say Allah a few times, and that's only because it's been drummed into me. As I said, I'm not on a mission to try and discover exactly all of that stuff in order to know what is right and what is wrong. So going back onto the topic, your Lord and Creator is telling you, and he's speaking to you in chapter 36, verse 21. Rather follow those who do not ask of you any payment, and they are rightly guided. Are you listening? Rather follow those who do not ask of any payment, and they are rightly guided. Any form, any amount, any. That's it. Clear cut. Now that should be enough. Now I should just end the stream, and that's it. You should just accept that. But I'm going to go on. Chapter 26, verse 162 to 164. Like Lut, he who said, indeed, I am to you a trustworthy messenger. So fear God and obey me, and I do not ask you for it any payment. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. We go again, chapter 11, verse 51. And Hud, who said, O my people, I do not ask you for it any reward. My reward is only from the one who created me. Then will you not reason? Chapter 26, verse 145. And Salih, who said, and I do not ask for you it any payment. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. You have chapter 11, verse 29. And Noah, who said, O my people, I ask not of you for it any wealth. My reward is not but from God. So chapter 26, verse 180, you have Shuaib, who said, and I do not ask you for it any payment. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. We go on, chapter 6, verse 84 to 90. Those are the ones whom God has guided, as well as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and David, and Solomon, and Job, and Joseph, and Moses, and Aaron, and Zachariah, and John, and Jesus, Ishmael, Jonah, all of them. So from their guidance, take an example. Say, I ask of you for this message, no payment. It is not but a reminder for the worlds. Chapter 23, verse 72 to 74. Or do you ask them for payment, but the reward of your Lord is best, and he is the best of providers, and indeed you invite them to a straight path. But indeed those who do not believe in the hereafter are deviating from the path. So I'll give you some examples. You might see buy books here, help me keep doing this, donate, become a patron, GoFundMe, super chats, donate with your caring, donate with your PayPal, bank information. This is all fraud. It is all fraud. I would run in the total opposite direction, because your God, your creator, is telling you in the beginning, follow those who do not ask of you any payment, and they are rightly guided. Now it's whether you want to hand over your money or not. This is another thing. But chapter 34 verse 47, so say instead, whatever payment I might have asked of you, it is yours, my payment only from God, and he is over all things witness. Chapter 3 verse 77, the ones who purchase with the pledge of God and their oaths a cheap price. Now when it says cheap price, what people might say, but brother, I'm not selling it for 20 quid. I'm not selling it for a tenner, I'm selling it for a fiver. No, you don't understand. Cheap price means it's not comparable to what you're going to lose in the hereafter. So no price. Those will have no portion in the hereafter. Are you listening? Are you listening? Chapter 3, verse 77, you people that keep taking money, that keep pouncing, that keep begging, that keep robbing, daylight robbery. The ones who purchase with the pledge of God and their oaths a cheap price, those will have no portion in the hereafter. And God will not speak to them, nor will he look at them on the day of resurrection, nor will he purify them, and they will have a painful retribution. Now, you have to, any one of you that's got them stupid red buttons to click and donate, take it off your screen. This is your Lord. He's telling you in chapter 3, verse 77, you've got no portion in the hereafter, and he's not going to speak to you or look at you. Are you serious? I mean, come on, for a bit of paper or a bit of bronze or whatever. So do not make a living out of delivering the message of God. If you make any wealth of the Deen, you will be put to the fire, and he will not talk to you or look at you that day, because apparently God is not powerful enough to sustain them. Yeah, that's what you think. That's not me saying it. That's God. Don't get angry with me. If you're getting angry with me, you're angry with God. Do an honest day's work. As you know, Islam lays great stress. Now, I've got an issue with the word Islam, but as I said, until I've ironed it out, if you like, yeah, I'm going to keep saying it, obviously. As Islam lays great stress on the life of strife and struggle, it is apparent that to live on other people's earnings is considered to be bad. Those who live on other people's earnings are called mutrafin, which is parasites, as pointed out in so many verses of the Quran. The mutrafin are the enemies of God's messengers and of the proper way of the life Deen brought about by them. So these are idle, lazy people who avoid work and earning for themselves. They would like that other people earn for them, and they themselves scrounge or beg on other people's livelihoods. Now, I have to obviously add to that. You might say, but brother, I work. Fair enough. So why are you pouncing? Why are you robbing people? Are you really doing it for God? Or are you a hypocrite? So the Quran is greatly against such people and instructs the believers to seek your sustenance according to the way prescribed by Allah. Chapter 29, verse 17. What is meant by the way prescribed by God? It means the ways of earning that are lawful according to the Quran. On the other hand, unlawful means are strictly prohibited. And do not use up each other's property by unlawful means. Chapter 2, verse 188. So what are these unlawful means, you might ask? Well, it means to get other people's wealth by fraud, by stealing, by taking advantage or deception, by somebody's weakness, or by usurping somebody's earnings, or by giving less than what is due to another person. In chapter 5, verse 44, now lend me your ears. Lend me your ears for this verse. Lend me your ears, okay? Now you have to think and ponder on the verses. Chapter 5, verse 44, we sent down the Torah, wherein is guidance. Now you might say, but this is a Torah, brother. No, but what you don't understand, this is in the Quran. So this applies for you too. We sent down the Torah, wherein is a guidance and light, the prophets who submitted thereby, those who hold to Judaism, as did the men of God and the religious scholars, with what they were given charge of from the law of God, and were there two witnesses. Then fear not mankind, but fear me, and sell not my proofs for a cheap price. And whosoever judges not by what God has sent down, but those, they are the rejectors, while claiming virtue. Yeah, so the Quran is not asking you to give your money to God. God is telling you all to spend your money in his path of God. He's not telling you to spend it all and sit on the side with nothing. Chapter 2, verse 272. Not upon you is responsibility for their guidance, but Allah guides whom he wills, and whatever good you believers spend is for yourselves. And you do not spend except seeking the countenance of Allah, and whatever you spend of good, it will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. Yeah, this is your Lord telling you, you won't be wronged. Don't be stingy when you pull out the, that paper and you're walking past someone and you don't want to hand it out. The context of this ayat are the believers specifically on the topic of spending in the way of Allah. So, like these Christians may tell you, the clergy has to declare like a vow of poverty, and then they live in mansions all over the earth and take your money, a bit like Saudi, but they have declared poverty. I mean, they don't declare poverty, yeah, but still they're doing the same sort of, rubbish. And this goes on with the so-called Muslims and imams and sheikhs and scholars and muftis and all these type of people. And the so-called Jews, these are all milking you. And the same with people that claim they are Muslims too, or they claim to be on your side. So I would never ever ask any of you for any wealth. If I did that, I would go to hell. The book tells me that. If I ask for a reward for bringing you this message, I will go to hell. So you see all these morons, they're running around like junkies, trying to earn a buck off this Deen. No messenger has ever come and told you, give me your money because I'm bringing you the message of God. I teach you this message of God so that, you should give me money for it. That is an absolute gateway to hell. And he will be telling you lies because he has to get your money. How's he going to get his money from you? He will be teaching you all the things that you want to hear. So you keep coming back to him for learned wisdom, yeah, that you might acquire from this person or persons. Then someone like me comes along and says, I don't want your money. Then you think he does not want my money. Wow. Well, there must be something wrong with him. And the one asking for money, oh, he's okay. What's wrong with you people? Wake up. You're being robbed through deception in a very subtle way. How can you not see through this facade? Everyone wants to live forever. Yes, but it's not here. It's in the hereafter. Now, that can be in pain or it can be in bliss. It's your choice. What one do you want? It's not my choice. I can't make you choose. Just because you say from your mouth does not make you pious and make you a Christian or Muslim, etc. And just because you say what a Muslim is does not make that a Muslim. You so-called Muslims are in no way, shape or form Muslims by the Quran and its definitions. Either I'm lying or you're lying, or we are both lying, but we both can't be telling the truth. Stop blind following. Do your own research. You will be questioned in the hereafter for your laziness. Remember, you are going into your grave by yourself, and you will be questioned on the day of resurrection by yourself. You are only responsible for your own actions. The Quran came down for every individual to follow, not for someone to dictate what is said from his own desires and whims and from made up stories from outside the Quran. The Prophet will complain on the day of judgment. Listen, Muslims, the Prophet will complain on the day of judgment that the Muslims have deserted the Quran, chapter 25, verse 30. Understand this concept. Or I agree to disagree. This is great, but that's all you do. You never agree to agree. This is difficult because man is a disputer. He disputes everything under the sun. What is good and what is evil? You have to figure that out for yourselves. And what you think is evil may be good, and what you think is good may be evil. But in the meantime, ask God to protect you. I mean, that's all you can do, yeah? Really, in this life, that's all you can do is ask the God to protect you. But what are you doing? Are you sitting there in this lockdown, scratching your balls, watching Netflix, Or are you researching to find out, are you actually idol worshipping? Are you committing shirk? Because you know, ladies and gentlemen, when you die, that's it. It's finished. Whatever you've done in this life, that's it. That's your, you know, your gateway to either paradise or hellfire. And by the research that I'm coming across and I'm doing myself, yeah, the majority of Muslims are pagans. The majority are pagans. As I said, I'm writing up something now at the moment to do with cults, yeah, to do with worship, to do with the word religion, to do with the word, what is it? Deity, to do with the word idol, idolize, worship, prayer, graven image. I'm doing partnership. I'm doing something big in regards to that. And it will open a few people's minds, hopefully, inshallah. If it don't, well, that's your own destruction. But be man enough in order to stand on the day of judgment and take it, and take what he's gonna give you. He ain't gonna spoon feed you it. He ain't gonna just hand it over to you on a plate. It's not gonna work like that. You have to work for it. You have to want it. Do you really want it? Now, there's a difference. You can want it and not act upon it. Oh yes, you can want it and not act upon it. That's not true wanting it, is it? When you want it, you have to work for it. Like, look, let's face it, right? You want to buy a nice brand new Mercedes, yeah, 50 grand, right? And you're adamant you're going to buy it. And you work, you save it, and then you buy it. But because you don't see no rewards and you're not getting the benefits of what's going to come in the hereafter, you're not bothered. You're not bothered. This is Shaitan's trick. This is Shaitan's trick. You're running for the dunya. Again, forgetting the hereafter and running for the dunya. And this is what Shaitan wants. Shaitan knows what's going on. I mean, come on. He was there conversating with God at the time when Adam was created. Yeah? And God said, you can actually, you know, have the ones that want to follow you. You can have them. I'll fill you up in hell with all of them. But what did he say other than that? He said, but with my guidance, you can't touch the ones that are wanting my guidance or that I guide. So ask the question. That is the first thing that is set out before any prophets or messengers. Ask yourself the question. That's the first thing. So what is his guidance? What is God's guidance that he referred to when he was speaking to that outcast? What was it? It was the Quran. It was the message. He ain't going to leave us on earth, yeah, in a wandering state, you know, not knowing what to do, pray to this, pray up, you know, look up in the sky and not know where to pray and where is he and all this kind of stuff. He sent a messenger with a message. And that message was the Quran. Final, finished, fully detailed, clear cut. It's got everything in the Quran. You don't need them dodgy hadiths. Burn them. I tell you what, burn them. Wait until that pagan ritual comes around, that Guy Fawkes pagan stuff, yeah? Take a big shopping trolley, see if you can borrow one from Sainsbury's, yeah? And take the whole bookshelf straight down there and be free. Be free from all that garbage. You're best off, I'll tell you what, you're best off replacing them with Harry Potter books. Yeah, serious. Because at least you don't get all that barbaric stuff in it and all that kind of stuff, you know, and all that paedophilia. Yeah, all right, behind the scenes they might do it, but there you go. So as I said, let's talk about breaking up into sects now, yeah, because I did mention it in another sort of when I had done a response to that shaitan Zakir Naik. What a shaitan he is. Oh, what a shaitan. Yeah. Anyway, but Allah says, as for those who divide their religion and break it up into sects, thou has no part in them in the least. Their affair is with Allah. He will in the end tell them the truth of all that they did. Chapter 6, verse 159. Now, don't think to yourself. Now, classing breaking up into sects, yeah, is someone actually doing it, someone actually mentioning it, putting you into a sect. Even if he hasn't like legitimately, like, you know, done a declaration to say you're a certain sect, just mentioning it out of your mouth, you know. So Allah is telling you your religion is submission to Allah alone. You people have left the path of Allah, i.e. the Quran alone, and followed others, other than just Allah, which is Quran alone. We ask ourselves, did the Prophet and the companions follow anyone else other than the Quran alone? Come on, tell me, did they? Did they? Now, if we're meant to follow these so-called satanic hadiths, what did Muhammad follow? Where's the hadiths and sunnah of someone else that he followed? Let's say of Angel Gabriel, because he was a messenger. So where's his hadiths? All right, now let's forget Angel Gabriel, yeah, the direct source. You lot are meant to be the Abraham's meant to be the father of the religion, yeah, the monotheist. He was an idol worshipper. So where's his hadith and sunnah? I want it, please. Show me where it is. Give me the verse. Where is it? Where's his hadith and sunnah? His extra 60 books, or extra 5 books other than the Quran. You won't find it. There you go. So you created your sect just by setting up partners with the Book of Allah, i.e. man-made hadiths. This is the start of the sect. You're breaking away from the book. Then you have all the other sects that break away from that. So Allah says, and hold fast all together. How do we do this? Ask yourself, how do we hold fast all together? That's right, the Quran alone. That's it. By the rope of which Allah stretches out for you. So what's the rope that Allah stretches out for you? What is the rope? It is the Quran alone. And be not divided amongst yourselves. Breaking away from the Quran alone. That's the only way you can break up. If Allah's telling you before, Quran alone, then the only way of breaking up is leaving the Quran alone or putting partners with it. And remember with gratitude, Allah's favor on you, for ye were enemies. Why was we enemies? Because of belief and no belief, shirk or Allah. And this is what we got now. You claim you're Muslims, you're committing shirk. You hadithas. You just can't handle, you can't break away from this cult mentality. That's all it is. It's a cult mentality. And he joined your hearts in love. So how did he join your hearts in love? How did this happen? Obviously the Quran alone. So that by his grace, ye became brethren, and ye were on the brink of the pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus doth Allah make his signs clear to you, that ye may be guided. How will we be guided? Ask yourself, how would we be guided? Correct, Quran alone. Chapter 3, verse 103. Then you'll get the Quran alone, right? You'll get some people that claim their Quran alone. They'll come and they'll say, we fast. Yeah, we pray. We pray according to the Quran. We fast according to the Quran, etc., etc. And then they'll get hadithas that will say the same thing, but they have outside sources just to add some, the cherry on the cake, if you like. Now, my question is, and it'll always be the same thing. You will always find the Quran alone people that pray and fast and do all the other stuff still, according to the Quran that's in the Quran. When the first thing they ask, us people, the Quran alone, that don't do all the rituals that they do because we don't belong to a cult, what do you think, the Quran alone, what do you think is the first thing they say? How do you pray? How many rakats? How do you fast? Where have I heard that one before? I'll tell you where I've heard it before. I've heard it from the hadithas, the ones that follow satanic man-made hadith. I've heard exactly the same crap and the same rubbish being spewed out of their mouth. I've heard that. Let me explain something else as well. You think Allah's detailed, or Allah says to you, it's a clear and detailed book. Yeah? Understand it, easy to understand. He's the teacher of the Quran. So something as simple as prayer, because obviously prayer, what they claim with the 5 pillars is that prayer comes second after the Shahada. So it's a part of, I would say, quote unquote, salvation to get into paradise. Well, I'm sorry. One, it doesn't say the Shahada in the Quran. It doesn't say the Shahada. No. And it doesn't mention the prayer, the ritual prayer. Now you might say, brother, now we're talking about Quran alone here. You might say, brother, of course it does. Chapter this, chapter that, chapter this, chapter. I say, hold on a minute, hold on. You need to do gymnastics around the Quran for something that's so important because it's the second part of the pillar of faith for your repentance, yeah, that it's not detailed out in sequence. Straight after the ablution that's in the Quran, in a certain verse, should come the prayers, if that's the way it happened, if that's the way it went. It didn't. But, oh, you got no problem. You know, Allah talks about the mountains having pegs. He talks about the earth, the cosmos, talks about the two seas not mixing. Oh, but he's left out the prayer. He's left out the prayer. He's left out a surah just on prayer, on your ritual prayer. Shall I tell you why? And let me give it facts to you, yeah? Let me tell you why. Because all the prophets came to destroy idol worship. Shirk, they come to wipe it out. Now, you might ask, what is, you know, brother, yeah, we know they come to wipe out idol worship. Well, let me explain to you, how were they idol worshipping? How were them people, before all this, the scriptures come, how were they idol worshipping? Well, they were walking around their temples. They were bowing to rocks. Yeah. The pagans were kissing rocks. The Arab pagans were throwing rocks at rocks. Yeah. Rocks at rocks. You know, they believed a rock came from heaven. But Allah sent the prophet to come and demolish all the idol worships. And most of the idols were rocks. If you look in history, most of them are rocks. Yeah. So they've done all this rock business, and yet he come to destroy and take out all the idols. Now you've got to ask yourself, why are you still praying to a rock? Why are you still praying to a stone rock? Yeah. In fact, two rocks, because you're praying towards Hubal, which is a moon god, yeah, which is the black stone on the corner, and you're praying to the actual Kaaba itself, because I've seen people, they're out there touching it, they're licking it. I don't know if there's any holes in it, because they'll be shagging it next, yeah. And I mean, you might say it's crude, but come on, they're taking a mockery, yeah, out of our religion. The proper Quran alone, it's our religion. Yeah, it's not their religion. No way. And I'm going to stand up for this, because I had 18 years of my life destroyed by them, you know, them backwards people, until I see the light, yeah, which I will be doing a revert story in regards to how it all, you know, led to where I am now. I ain't an easy person to shut up as well, by the way. I just have to inform people of that. I'm very argumentative when it comes to the truth, because you spit the truth out, it'll always, you know, it'll always defeat falsehood. It'll always defeat it. And you always leave it out there for you to think. The thing is, you sold your souls to the devil. Yeah, you sold your souls to the devil. Don't think music, selling your soul to the devil. Yeah, that's another part, another issue, that you can sell your soul to the devil. But you sold your soul to the devil of your religion. As you understand, you have to understand, religion comes worship, comes prayer, graven images, idols, deities, partnership, money, zakat. All this goes hand in hand. You see it with the Vatican. You see it with all down the line. It's all you see. And they're robbing you. And I won't stand there and have people being robbed. I'm sorry, I won't do it, because I'm going to be questioned on the day of judgment for not opening my mouth. And so will you. If you see an injustice and you don't stand up about it, you're going to be questioned for it as well. You know what you can do. You know what you can do in order to stop it. So we go on, and so that by his grace ye become brethren, and ye were on the brink of the pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus doth Allah make his signs clear to you, that ye may be guided. How will be guided? Quran alone, chapter 3, verse 103. Those who split up their religion, right? Because it's only the ones that follow religion that split it up. They become mere sects. How did the religion split? By abandoning the Quran alone. How each rejoicing in that which is with itself. They all rejoice in what they've got themselves. Chapter 30, verse 32. So all sects are haram. If you identify yourself as a Sunni, Shia, Wahhabi, Quranite, Quranist, any name other than a Muslim or any other sect, Does not matter how big or small the sect is. You have left the fold of Islam. Call yourself a Muslim and follow the Quran alone. If you call yourself Sunni Shia or anything like that, or any other group, stand up and take it. That's all I can say. Love and peace. Love and peace to you, bro. Hawk flies 55. Nice one, bro. May God reward you immensely. But as I said, look, I am going to do a live stream on Facebook. But I'm going to prepare. I'll probably wait until I've got my the research I've done on the cult, because you're going to find that very interesting. Very interesting. Doesn't matter. See, this is the beautiful thing when God guides you. Yeah, this is a beautiful thing. Yes, you'll get some people, they'll come out and they'll say, yep, this word is being mistranslated, this one's been distorted, they've added vowels and verbs and whatever else they've added onto it in order to distort it so they can still follow their forefathers' pagan religion, right? But when God tells you in chapter 14, verse 4, it doesn't matter what language. It doesn't matter what language Allah will teach you, Allah will guide you. Chapter 14, verse 4. Check it out. That's what he tells you. So if that's the case, then you should be able to work out in your language with your own research on your avenue or lane, yeah, if it really is a pagan, cultish religion that is actually in the Quran, regardless if it's in Arabic or not. And alhamdulillah, yeah, alhamdulillah, I think I've hit the nail on the head. I've just got to put things together in the right order and make sense of it, you know, may throw a few Arabic, you know, from other people that have done research where they've gone really deep. But you don't have to study the Arabic, the basis of the Arabic, in order to find out that it's pagan. No, you don't. Because Allah said he will give you guidance, he will give you light, he will teach you in your own language. In fact, I will bring you that verse. It's chapter 14, verse 4. Now, chapter 14, verse 4. I hope everyone's got their Quran. And we sent a messenger only in the tongue of his people, that he might make plain to them. God sends astray whom he wills and guides whom he wills. And he is the mighty, the wise. Now, you see that, you know, they'll say, brother, but it come down in Arabic. Yeah, duh. What were the people at that time? They weren't Greek. They weren't German. They weren't Russian. They were Arabs. Of course it's going to come down, because there's a verse where it says that, but then there's a verse in the Quran as well, which obviously hasn't come to mind. And I know a lot of people say, brother, you've got to give a verse. Well, I'm just saying, I have to mention it because I ain't got it on hand. But if there's anyone that wants to stick it in the chats, by all means, help me out and stick it in the chats. And it basically says that if it had come down in any other religion, they would have complained, what's this in foreign language? So that's the reason why it come down in their tongue. Now, the prophet's not around. The prophet's dead. The prophet's dead. So where's my messenger? Where's my messenger? According to chapter 14, verse 4, where's my messenger that's going to give me this in my language, English, in my language? Where? That's right, because whoever delivers the message, the verse, is classed as a messenger, because we have a message. So it doesn't mean just because I've got a message that now I can make up hadith and sunnah. I'm going to make up hadith and sunnah, then all of you can follow it because I'm a messenger. No. Because Prophet Muhammad, he had something else. See, I've heard people say, but brother, you can't compare it to a postman. Well, like what I said to the brother before, I can explain it every which way I want to. And I think everyone gets who a postman is. But he said, brother, it comes in a sealed letter. I said, but brother, he was a divine postman. He wasn't just an ordinary postman. He's came with the post without an envelope, and he's reading you the letter. He's not a basic person that's just, you know, like, fair enough. Now it can't never happen. Of course it can never happen, because he was the final prophet. Sorry, he was the final message. Yeah. So if that's the case, And we've got it in our hands now, and it's circulating through, even Google. There you go. Google's your messenger because he gives you the message. You go on Google, you type a verse in, it comes up. He's giving you the message. Are you going to worship Google and his hadith and his sayings and narrations and ways and things like that? I don't think so. So why are you idolizing Muhammad? When Muhammad, even in verses, clear verses, says, don't idolize me. I'm just a human being like you. I don't get it. I mean, really and truly, I really don't get it. And if no one else gets it, then we're done for, aren't we? Because let's face it, right? There's a lot of people that talk. Yeah, they love to talk. But I tell you, if we were to get into paradise for talking, we're in there. All of us in. Guaranteed. We're all in there because we all talk. We love to talk, but there's no actions. So let me explain something else. So let me just run through just a couple of little nuggets, as I call them, yeah? If Muhammad came back to this world today, right, the so-called Muslims, right, the munafiqs, they would stone him to death, yeah? The religion they follow today has nothing to do with the Islam. Sorry, Islam has got I've got an issue with that. Deen, preached by Abraham and Muhammad. Everything the Muslims do is wrong. The first pillar, the Shahada, the call, the Azan, the Salah prayer, the ablution, the daily, the Zakat, the Hajj, and all other practices, the sacrifice, everything of Islam. It's all pagan. It's all pagan, and you lot need to wake up. You need to bang your heads on the table, and you need to think, you know what? This guy's he's not asking me for no money. He's spending time out of his evening to dish out the message for you for free. I've done the research. I'm just telling you, I'm relaying it to you. You need to go and verify. You need to verify what I'm saying. That's one important thing, that you must verify everything. Don't blind follow just because Sheikh Zakir Naik, he comes on screen and he goes, chapter 2, verse 5, chapter 2. He sounds like a disc jockey, like he's coaching on a horse race or something. And you can't hear. And you'll find that a lot of hadithas will overtalk you and put you down as well. Don't fall for that. Yeah? Don't fall for that. They always do it. As I said, I've got a few more videos coming out on a few more people that hopefully I will shut up as well, just with a few verses. But, we all agree that, the Quran is from God, the creator of the universe. And we agree that we serve only God. We don't worship, we serve him. And we all are slaves. We're servants of God. Do you get it? Servants, serve, servants, serve. Yeah, thought so. But anyway, look, we all agree that the last prophet and final messenger delivered the message and completed his mission. Now you'll get a lot of hadith people that go, but brother, the book wasn't compiled, it was left to blah blah blah. I'll keep talking, mate. You know that diaper you got, I think it's full. I think you need to go and get your mummy to go and change it, clean it up. Stick that dummy back in your mouth, because at the end of the day, it even clearly states, and I don't even want to go into their dirty hadiths, but even in their dirty hadiths, it is mentioned that. I think it's Umar ibn Khattab says about taking the book on the journey that they was taking it, just in case it got damaged, lost, or whatever. Yeah, so it was already in book format. And when you look back in history at the time of like Jesus and maybe even further back, they had parchments, so it was easily compiled into a book. All this other stuff that they add, it's just all nonsense. All nonsense. We agreed that the prophet and the followers only followed the Quran, the revelation, and a lot of people, they want to know a lot about the prophet. But let me say something to you. Whatever the Quran tells us about the prophet, that's it. Why do we need to question it anymore? Because on the day of judgment, the prophet's going to worry about himself. Yeah, he's going to worry about himself. He's just going to complain and say, look, all the Muslims, they deserted the Quran. I brought the Quran down, they deserted it. They done this, they done that. So whatever the Quran, if the Quran doesn't mention anything specific in regards to Muhammad, don't worry about it. Why are you going on about it? You're not going to be questioned about what went on 1400 years ago. You're going to be questioned what's going on now, not 1400 years ago. So think about now. And sometimes in the Quran, there's certain passages that mention the prophet that doesn't even, it's nothing to do with us, because that was at the time of the prophet. That was at the time of the prophet. Like when it says about entering the prophet's houses. with the wives being there. Well, we can't do that, can we? The prophet's dead. The wives are dead. So that verse doesn't, that's nothing to do with us in this time. And I know a lot of people be like, "Astaghfirullah, brother, you're the next sheikh and all that." I ain't claim to be a sheikh. I ain't claim to be knowledgeable. I'm just giving you my, my 2 cents on it. And as I said, I don't speak out my own desires and whims. I've got, the evidences I'm showing you from the Quran. I only use the Quran. We agree the book is protected. We agree it has no contradiction. And we agree the book is perfect and it has no mistakes. So all I'm saying to you, when they get to them submitters, I think they're called the 19 submitters or something like that. 19, Khalid, Rashid Khalifa. I think they're involved with that sort of scenario. Yeah, they ask the same thing. How do you pray? How do you fast? I don't. That's it. Click up. I don't do it the way you do it because that's not how it says. That's not what's meant by it in the Quran. Otherwise, it'd be. You know what they're doing? All the ritual would be in the Quran because the Quran's fully detailed. It explains itself. It's clear. So ask me this. Would it not be in the Quran? And he's protecting that book. He's not protecting the hadiths and all that kind of stuff. So you Quran alone that are following, doing the praying and all that, right? You've done exactly the same as the hadithas. So you're not Muslim either. You're not Muslim. I'm saying it. You're not Muslim. You're doing exactly what the hadithas do. You're doing the praying. You're doing the fasting. Maybe doing the zakat. Maybe you're doing the hajj. Maybe it's not the way that they do it, but you're doing it. When it's a part of pagan worship. Look back in history at the Hindus, the Zoroastrians, the Sabians. All of the pagans done it. So why did he send men to come and destroy all that? Why? Because it was all idol worship. It was all idol worship. That all has to go in order, because look, you think, right, God is omnipresent, yeah? God is closer to your jugular vein. It says it in the Quran. He's closer than your jugular vein. Yeah, there you go. So all I'm saying is you submitters that claim 19, you're a cult as well. Yeah, I'm saying it how it is. You're a cult. You're a cult. You're doing exactly the same thing. Because I'll tell you why. How did the hadithas, right, find out a sort of pattern in order to make up a prayer? Let's think now. Use our brains, yeah? We say that they gathered loads of hadiths, about 100 of them, and they smashed them together and made a prayer. Right. But they did read the Quran, yeah? So they read the Quran and they picked out the verses that the Quran alone have picked out, and they've added some flavor to it, some salt and pepper to it, yeah? Because they'll spice it up a little bit. That's what they've done. You Quran alone people that are still praying, you've done exactly the same thing. You've gone all around the Quran, you've picked up all these verses and jumbled it all together, and you pray exactly like they pray. You stand, you do ruku, and you do sujood. You do the same actions. Why? Why do you do the same actions? How do you know that it was standing first? Maybe it was sujood first. Maybe it was ruku first. Maybe it went a totally different way. What makes you think that the standing position is the first position? What makes you think that? Maybe they stood, then they went straight onto the floor and then back up and then back down and back up. How do you know? You're doing exactly the same thing the hadithas doing. Making up and conjuring up your own rubbish. That's what you're doing. Same with the fasting, same with everything else. And obviously, I don't want to get into all that kind of stuff, but it was easier for me just to tackle the salah thing, because that's all I hear. How do you pray? Well, I don't pray the way you pray. I don't belong to a cult. I do not belong to a cult. Yeah, I don't belong to no cult. If you're Quran alone, in your true Quran alone, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be some people out there, you've seen them on their channels, that are really good in Arabic. Don't let the Arabic slide you off your path. Yeah, they're only the devil's probably got good talk, good speech. Yeah, he's probably got good speech, because let's face it, he gets everyone to do stuff. So he's got a way of getting people to do stuff with his speech, his whispers and things. That's exactly what's coming out of these people's mouth, these sheikhs, ulama, scholars, and all that. And then you've got some Quran alone people, yeah, that have got a good Arabic tongue that still pray, and they'll still attack you. They will still attack you if you say no, brother, it's not that, and you disagree with what they're saying. They will still attack you in maybe an educated way, but they won't let you speak. They'll try and mock you, etc., etc. They'll try and diminish your common sense and reasoning. And the same with other people on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. As I said, if there's anyone on Facebook, yeah, and you've got an issue with me, yeah, I don't care. To be honest with you, I really don't care. I'm here. I'm going to spread the truth. This is the truth. I'm telling you, it's the truth. Because you can't. It's either Quran alone or Hadiths. You can't be Quran alone and do the same as what Hadiths are doing, just according to the Quran. Because we know what God said about His words. Think about that one. What did God say about His words? That they would never run out. Let me find the verse for you. Yeah, because I don't want to misquote something. Right. So, right, hold on. Wait a minute. So, if anyone can post the verse down there before I can actually get hold of it myself. I just get angry because, as I said, 18 years ain't happening no more. Is not happening no more. 18 years of crap, all that. You got to have a circumcision. You got to tell your women to dress up in black bags. You got to do this. You got to put your left foot in, your left foot out, in, out, shake it all about. And when you go in the toilet, and all this superstitious stuff. I was living in darkness. Every 5 minutes, you got to do ablution and all this kind of stuff. Every 5 minutes. No, it ain't. That's not how it's meant to be. Say, if the ocean were ink, the words of my Lord, sooner would the ocean be exalted, then would the words of my Lord, even if we added another ocean like it for its aid, it would not run out. This is in chapter 18, verse 109. So if there was more to know, gather this one. If there was more to know, clearly God said it in this verse. If there was more to know, you would have had more. But He said the Quran's enough. That book you got is enough. So why the Hadiths? A lot of people say, yeah, there's some verses in there that say praying and that, but it doesn't. The Hadiths say it doesn't give you details. Why doesn't it give you details? Because you're not meant to do it that way. Maybe at that time, Abraham decided to stand and glorify God the way he wanted to glorify. And maybe Jesus fell on the ground because he was just so thankful, I mean, come on, I mean, people, what we got to do, try and get the message out there. I don't know. As I said, all we can do is shout. And if hopefully I don't swear, hopefully I don't swear. But as I said, there's a lot of people that get their nappies in a twist. Their dummy falls out, yeah, and they start barking like dogs. And them type of people, you can usually notice after the first time of talking or messaging them, they'll bubble up. The reason why they bubble up is because they're not on the truth. They're not on the truth. But I am here to stay. As I said, videos get taken down, channels get taken. It doesn't matter. I've got it all backed up. It'll just take me a day to upload it all. But next time I'll make 3 channels, and 3 Facebook accounts, and I'll whack it all up. I'll just keep doing it and keep doing it like that. As I said, I'm here to stay. I'm here to promote the message, the true message. And as I said, I'll tackle anybody. But just one thing, don't come to me with your Arabic, because I don't understand fluently Arabic. Yeah, so don't be coming to me. Speak English. If you can speak English, you come to me with an English tongue. And if you want to throw in zakat, salat, hajj, things like that, shaitan, yeah, it's cool. It's cool because I understand all that. But when you start doing sentences in Arabic, I ain't got a clue what you're saying. You could be cussing me, you could be cursing me, you could be trying to twist the words. I need to hear it in my own language, like God said in chapter 14, verse 4. I send a messenger in the tongue of his people. That's it. And that's case closed on that one. But I said, yeah, so all you can do, as I said, is repetition. Just keep going back on the Facebook, keep going back over the videos, keep getting into the Quran. Don't ever forget the Quran. Go back into the Quran, use your reasoning, think. Don't let people think for you, because on the day of judgment, you will be questioned for your eyes, ears, and tongue, and etc., etc. So this is, and I'm a warner at the moment, but I could be a witness against you if you don't take this advice. Once I've, as I said, once I've flattened out the cultish practice with the Quran alone, that pray and fast and do all the stuff that the Hadithas do, then it should shed some light on it. It should shed some light on it, because I'm going to go pretty deep and I'm going to go all over the place. So yeah, it's going to take me a while though. It's going to take me a while to bring that bit of information. I've got so much information. It's just a matter of putting it together. You could be looking at 2 months, but once it's out there, it's out there. You know, I've never got to cover it again. Similar to the sect and taking money, and I've got a hadith one. Hadith one's very large, because you can tackle it from many different ways and angles. Yeah, so, but yeah, may God reward the 4 people that are on here listening. Yeah, may He reward you immensely. If you are a person that is a number 19 submit our cult type thing, or a Quran alone but praise, or a haditha, yeah, then seriously take your head out of your ass, because it's not meant to be there. It's not meant to be there, seriously. And you know, hold your head up high. You're going to get attacked and you're going to have doubts. Oh yes, you are, because I had it. But I tell you, once you go over that boundary, once you go over that fence, yeah, it's just an upward hill. Yeah, you feel like you've just been let out of prison. Not that I know what prison's like, yeah, because I never managed to get there. But yeah, you know, so more almost like flying, you know, like a bird, and you know, when you see it just take off and fly. Yeah, man, it's like that. So anyway, as I said, God reward you all, people. And I said Facebook. I think you guys know my Facebook. If you don't, obviously, I don't want to stick it on here, and I'll tell you why I don't want to stick it on here. You have to private message me for that. Is because I do have some trolls. I don't know if I have them on this account, but I do have some trolls, and you know, I don't really want them to start coming over onto my Facebook and trolling it, you know, because they do that. So anyway, yeah, bless. I'm gonna play. Let me get my outro up, and yeah, I'll leave on that. Yeah, that's it. Just people, you know, look, don't fear the coronavirus. Don't fear the government. Yeah, our fear is only Allah. There's God. That's all we fear. Yeah, I'm going to use Allah and God, because at the moment I'm trying to work out something in regards to the word Allah. So, yeah, we have to fear God alone. Yeah, it's God that protects our bodies. It's not, no virus can take it down. Trust me, no virus can. You know, who's the creator of the virus? Oh, and by the way, let me explain something to you. A virus is dead. Yes, a virus is dead. So how can something that's dead get into your body? Question that one. But here's the outro, and I hope you like it. And obviously, I don't know when. Just leave your notifications on. When I decide to do a next stream, then it will ding away, and you'll be notified. And so it says, spread it around your social media. Spread my Facebook around your social media. Let's get this Quran alone up and kicking. You know, and there's no sitting back. These hadithas are on it. You know, they're producing books. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're proper active. We need to be active too. Even if you've just got one person that wants to do it, just stay behind that person and give him some moral support. You know, and yeah, I'll be happy to do that. So where is it gone? It's gone now. See. So let me pull it up again. Right. So may God reward you all. And if you're not on the guidance, then may Allah or God guide you all to it. Yeah, and peace. So yeah, you'll notice. Sorry, I had to speak now. You notice I put on the wrong. I put on the wrong outro, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. That's my other channel anyway. I've got another. I've got an abuse channel as well that I want to start up. You know, and raise awareness on abuse as well. But anyway, may God bless you all, and yeah, inshallah, I'll see you soon.